So, just to add two other parts to this interesting fucking that seemingly are insanely important. In other words, the other parts that I'm adding to this would be, so what happens when I go down to see my mom in Florida in 2019? I get locked up, and then I don't come home until the end of 2020, right after my mom passes away. Who's my grandma? But she adopted me mentally because there's no paperwork on anything, and therefore, she passes away, and then my grandmother, who I call my grandma, Barbara, her son passes away, which is weird because that's the exact same day that I get her on the phone after not being able to again get her on the phone for like weeks. I get her on the phone on the day that her son passes away. And then, my friend comes out to see me. Well, my friend comes out to see me. And then I'm pretty sure my grandma passes away right after that. After telling me that, there's nothing wrong with her, but then all of a sudden she passes away. 2 days after getting off the phone. And then the next time I speak to my friend, literally after like a month or so, month and a half of not speaking to my friend, who I hadn't seen in forever, I call them and they're at the scene of where their family member passed away. And then I call my other sister, and she's taken a stroke and she's in the hospital. And then, there's, all of a sudden after almost 4 years, almost 4.5 years, probably around about 3.5, 4 years, of not basically talking to my sister, once or twice, real briefly, and then I find out this, and this, and I'm like, wow, that's really. And then she brings up this, but my point being of all of this, I go down to see my mom, and all of a sudden, my brother is introducing me to Pop Smoke, and I don't know it's Pop Smoke because he's going by the name of Malik or Malik, and that's really interesting because I'm saying, where did I see this kid before? And then I come, later on, after coming out of jail and seeing that this guy named Pop Smoke got shot while I was in jail. And I'm saying to myself, wow, that kid looks so familiar. Holy shit, that's the kid my brother introduced me to right beforehand. And then thinking, well, this and that, and then figuring out, okay, yep, nope, Pop Smoke I also met at that fucking Hess station all those years ago when gas was about fucking $8, literally, a fucking gallon. It went up to fucking more than that, but we'll just say that fucking roundabout $7 to $8 was insane. And no. And then I'm saying to myself, but there was one other place that I seen Pop Smoke, and that was at the same location that I was just describing. At that church. Same church. Before he was Pop Smoke, supposedly. Before this is years before he dropped an actual song or an album. That is so close to the place where that's why it's like my mom passes away. My grandma passes away. All these people. And then I'm saying to myself, they throw me in jail. Right? For kicking my brother's ass because I'm coming down there to not only get my head straight with certain things that didn't make no sense up here. Like why they had my hot water shut off before I left. 3 months, 3.5 months before I even left to go down to Florida in 2019. They had my fucking hot water shut off. And still not turned on. Went through this whole winter up here, fucking, because I wasn't obviously up here in 2019, 2020's fucking But this is 2020 into 2021, and freaking, yeah, no hot water the whole fucking year, just like the year that the boulder came through the window, and then the other year when the boulder came through the window, and then the other year when the house was shot at. It's like, you know. My point being is that no heat. You know, it's like, other than, you know, and still, it's like, wow, man. It's like, fucking, wow. They throw me in jail. And the people that they put inside my jail cell are all significant to people I've met before. The one guy told me when he was about in probably around close to ninth grade, when he scored a perfect SAT, and I scored a perfect SAT, I met him, and he told me when I was in second grade, and he was in almost ninth grade, they brought him to meet me and the other kid, and it was like, I'll just jam my cock down your throat and choke you out. And it's like, wow, that's lovely. And they put him in my jail cell, which I was like, oh, man. I was just, you know, and it's just like, you know. So that's, and then he's a part of folk, right? So that's that. And then it's like, then there's the kid that acted like, well, then there was Mr. Hernandez, the old man that didn't speak a drop of English. And then there was, you know, the kid before that, which was the kid who acted like a cat, which was Torres. And that's the interesting part, because the time that I met the kid who acted like a cat, that was being introduced to me while I was standing with an Esposito girl. And she's like, Anthony, we want to show you this. And I'm seeing this kid playing, like, not then. I was being told that he acted like a cat, and I couldn't understand what the fuck, because I didn't see that then. But then when I was in that jail cell and I'm staring at a kid who acted like a cat, and I'm saying, where the fuck have I seen this guy before? I'm like, holy shit, this is from that block where fucking Big Joe and fucking Fat Pun, or one of the two, I keep saying that, one of the two, I met that time. And it's like wow, man. It's like that was right before my fucking, that's why it's like, it's just so crazy. Actually, it happened 2 years before my cousin was fucking a year. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that. The point being is that freaking, so then I'm saying to myself, oh, well, that's interesting. So why would it bring up the memory of the Espositos, but then it was the Esposito they put in my cell with me? Now, I sent that guy to jail for murder, and I feel kind of bad about that, because supposedly he was cleaning up pieces of shit. And I know that some of the other Esposito children freaking were pissed off at me because, but I had almost nothing to do with that. It was really the person that was with me in the fucking car that spoke up and said fucking shit, because I thought fucking everything was fucking, you know what, I'm not going to go down that. The point is I sent this guy to jail. Now he's kicking my bunk and kicking my bunk, and I'm saying to my fucking self, like, wow. It's like, is he not able to fucking, I'm like, and I get up and I walk over to him, and I'm like, I know who you are. And I'm like, I know what you did. And what would you have liked me to fucking do? I mean, his face turned fucking pale white, like he was staring at, well, basically death. And fucking the bottom line is that, you know, it's like, I just want to say that, you know, it's like the other Esposito children, they told me that that was somebody that protected them and that cared about them and that they loved to cuddle up with, and not in the fucking set, because he wouldn't hurt them. That's why they were mad at me. And it was fucked up because of the whole situation that went down with that. But either fucking or. So there's the Esposito name right there. And then I'm saying, why is this guy in my cell? And then I'm saying, why? What did I do to these fucking people that they just... But it's not, because it comes back to that other situation where it was the people who took down him that were pulling the fucking strings with the rest of the fucking Espositos, which I'm thinking involves that fucking log. Now, with that said, you know, if you want to say who's the most evil, okay, and the whole setting up of my sister and the whole setting up of this and that and everything else. Now, as far as the kid that acted like a cat, it's funny because that kid said a lot of bad fucking shit about me, and I was introduced to that kid by a freaking Esposito girl, which was like, this is, we need you to see this, Anthony. We need you to see, like, there was nothing vile about the encounter, and I didn't understand, and they were explaining to me, they're like, look, the kid acts like a cat. We don't know what the fuck happened, you know? And he makes up stories, and he does this, and it's like, there's just a lot, all right? And as far as the old man, Hernandez, back then, that man supposedly hit his wife in the head with a frying pan because she was pissed off that he was smoking weed on the corner with fucking people on the corner. And fucking, she was pissed off. But I could be, you know, hey man, a lot of years, a lot of things, fucking, you know, I don't know what was being manipulated and not manipulated to look certain ways to me, or being told to me certain ways so that I would think certain things. I don't know. I do know that is the interesting chain of events. And the bottom line to that is that brings me to Mora. Now, Mora is the guy who is supposedly carrying full-blown HIV and hepatitis C, and this motherfucker is literally, no matter what group of people I walked up to in that jail, this guy is right there trying to, like, literally, like, everybody would just walk away because he's like, there's spit coming out of his mouth. It's like nobody wants, his hands are fucking sweating. It's like just a walking spitball, you know? Like, that's a great name. That's a spitball. What up, spitball? It's like, you know, it's like fucking, yo, man. So it's like, so this person is just like a walking spitball, and nobody's talking to this kid, and it's like, now I have only one option, and that is to literally talk to this motherfucker. And this is where this motherfucker divulges to me that he's a part of fucking Anonymous and the Collective, which is interesting because freaking I took down fucking Anonymous, which then eventually became government affiliated with fucking QAnon, which then he's telling me he's still part of the Collective, and he comes from fucking state up in fucking Yonderville, okay, and fucking, you know, meanwhile he's down in Florida with me in a jail cell, and I'm saying to my fucking self like this, and he's like, well, why do you think you're alive, and blah blah blah, and he's saying some pretty interesting shit that I'm saying to myself, why would this person look like he has, I mean, obviously he was separating me from every single other person to freaking have a normal conversation with inside jail, which is like, oh, what normal conversations go on in jail? It's like, well, there's a couple, kind of, not really. It's like, yo, you know, I'd have to like bug people for like a piece of candy. I'd be like, can I have some candy? I have nobody that loves me. I'm not doing favors at all. Fucking, I will kill you. I beat up the biggest fucking nigger I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. I turned him into my bitch. Literally. Fucking last time I was in jail. Let's not do this again. Can I please have a piece of candy? No, go away. It's like, okay, I will go away then. They, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, that's the whole point. The whole fucking point is that it's like, you know something, and then the other kid that was there, and I'm saying to this kid, it's like, you gotta really become smarter, because you can't be doing certain things. And then it's like, you know, it's like, and then I'm thinking to myself, it's like, I gotta get home to my mom, or else fucking, you know, that would have, even if it was handled differently, which was good, in a good way, it's like it could have went really fucking wrong, and I would have fucking done like, just like going up against fucking Mora. Now, the reason I'm saying Mora again, because I don't want to talk about Spitball. Okay, so then all of a sudden Spitball's laying on the floor next to me, and the guard's like, "What are you doing? Go back to your bunk. Could you go back to your bunk? That's a little creepy." It's like, yeah. It's a little creepy. Yeah, it's harmless, totally harmless. And then the next day, this guy's trying to fight me, right? While he's trying to fucking get the kid who everybody's trying to sexually molest in the fucking the handicapped fat kid. They were trying to freaking all fucking get him up to their fucking jail cells and shit, you know, so they could fucking have their desserts of gooiness. It's the point is I felt bad about the fucking handicapped kid, but I mean it's still he was a grown man, and it's like, you know, this and that, and it's like he's not a grown man. He's a fucking, he doesn't even belong inside this jail at all. Period. Fucking he belongs in a fucking facility where they could fucking literally fucking, because the kid doesn't even know he's in fucking jail like that at all. He does not even realize he's in fucking jail. So with that said, unfortunately it's like the things is that so Moore is trying to get, you know, this kid alone. Yeah, I'm guessing because he was another bunk mate at that. I forget that's the kid. He was another bunk mate at the. That's why I'm saying inside the cell, and it's like I'm guessing they put him in my cell so that they could they knew that I wasn't gonna freaking hurt the kid. You know what I'm saying? And it's like with all the other slew of fucking... But the whole point of this whole entire story is the fact that they put these people there, for the most part, to freaking make me think, okay, the Espositos are behind what's going down, right? Because the two people, especially, freaking were the one that I put in jail for murder and didn't exactly... I don't know how to... Sorry, you know, but it wasn't even me. It was somebody that was sitting right next to me that you should have been more fucking, and no offense, it's like, I don't even want to get down this whole thing because it's still, I put you in jail and, you know, you have some grudge against me. It's like, go hunt the motherfuckers that fucking, because at this point in time I see they took away the vile good guy, and used me to do that in order to fucking get to the next situation, which I just explained in the other two videos, which is interesting because now I'm saying to myself, like, without an enforcer there, therefore, without the enforcer there that kept the children somewhat safe, therefore, freaking they were able to move in on other options, and that was to try to have me fucking killed, right? So then I'm saying to myself, it still brings to the last person that was basically in my cell, before that somewhat fucking slowed down with the last, like, 20-something days left of jail. The bottom line is that Mora, which if you break down the name Moore, right, is more like as in the Mormon church, like, you know, or the basically like the Church of Latter-day Saints, which is basically like, you know, the Mormon church. And then it's like, you know, and then it starts to get me thinking to myself, it's like, well, you know, it's like I did sign the contract with that one fucking, you know, because obviously it was the FBI, the CIA, and the DOJ. But in the case of the fact that the DOJ contract was completely fucking mind-fucked, okay? Like, this is the contract where they wanted me to hunt down 20-something of my clones, but not supposedly before the age of 18, which then at that point it would be like, wow, so basically I have like... And then I had to do it within a certain period of time, which so I would have basically had to have hunted down with no money in my pocket and evaluate and or execute fucking about 20 of my own clones. The contract that was more somewhat related to the church and of Latter-day Saints, which would also have been the basic department of the DOJ, which then therefore fucking Tupac's deceased mama keeps coming back to life to fucking sit there and fucking start another round with me. I don't understand how this woman is still fucking like, she needs somebody to talk to. She needs a friend, and I understand, but it's like I need a friend too. It's like, you could have bought me a fucking burger. You didn't have to. We could have went over the details of what happened to Tupac. It's like, it's okay, you know, I understand. understand, this and that, but you gotta, but then this goes way back, further than fucking what you think, so fucking, it's like, but you would think, because you were there, and then, it's like, now I know that had something to do with some sort of fucking weird, racist, biased, fucking / fucking grudge, which is just fucking mind-boggling, because it's like, isn't that what you people are trying to fucking, but it's not. It's actually what fucking is not being fucking said in the fucking media. So, wait a minute, where am I? Okay, so back to what I was saying, that is, so Mora, they put Mora in my cell, and he starts to tell me how he's a part of the collective, and he's a part of Anonymous, what's left of Anonymous, and that, there's a reason I'm still alive, and that he was trying to basically put in my head that he was the CIA, which is just interesting. At the same time, I'm saying to myself, like, basically freaking, the location and everything else would be more significant to the DOJ, but if he was basically coming off to me as the CIA or a plant of the CIA, because, he's a wonderful puppet that pays attention to fucking doing what needs to be done. And, that was basically trying to start a fight with me, which then therefore fucking his name wasn't even exactly, I don't even know, was it even on the paperwork? I don't think it even was on the fucking paperwork. They just wrote me up for having a fucking confrontation with another fucking inmate, which was bullshit, because this motherfucker started with me, and what the fuck would anybody do in a situation where you think this motherfucker has got fucking full-blown HIV and or fucking hepatitis C, and that's obviously being all fucking string pulled. So then I'm saying to myself, wow. Then it comes back down to the church, because as I'm thinking fucking more along the lines of what the fuck did the fucking, what is going on with the fucking Espositos coming from me for fucking this and that reason, fucking, when this is like, come on, man, you're way smarter than this, right? And freaking, that's the whole point. It's like, because fucking Mora and the Mormon church and fucking all of that shit fucking comes into play with the other things that freaking because that whole structure and everything else is all being fucking. And I'm saying to myself, wow, that's just fucking wonderful. Because then after I come out of jail, that's when the fucking whole fucking, that's when little do I realize it. I don't realize it until after my fucking YouTube gets fucking shut down. And freaking, that's when I realize, oh shit, wow, fucking, so how long is this thing? How long has the Solar Winds hack been going on for? Oh, that's perfect. Right about the same time that I came out of jail. Right after meeting this guy that was fucking telling me he was a part of the fucking collective and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And fucking trying to fight me and for fucking no fucking reason. Because if he was fucking anonymous, then he would fucking know that I'm not the fucking bad guy. So anything that they're sitting there fucking spitting out of their dumbass fucking remaining faces that I haven't fucking ripped off yet would be fucking bullshit coming from him. Did I say that right? I think so, but I'm not going back to check. In the meantime, when I say, did I say that right? Because basically I'm saying to myself, you know what? Freaking, basically, what the fuck would you even fucking try to fucking do some dumbass shit like that to me for, knowing that this whole fucking thing revolves around fucking Bullseye 1, A1. Meanwhile, I was put in B2. Why was I put in... oh, man. B7. Oh, whatever the fuck the case was, B2, B7, B2 pod, B7 fucking cell, right? Fucking James Bond and fucking B2 bomber, right? B2B, motherfucker. Yo, man. Born the fucking beast. Like the fucking plane that carried the first atomic bomb and dropped it on, unfortunately, Hiroshima, or was it Nagasaki? I am so sorry. I like the Japanese, I think. I'm pretty sure. You're cute. Very cute. Like, wonderful death culture you got going on in certain places of... Okay, so here's the or is that China? You know what? It doesn't matter, because I have no problem with either one of these fucking people. Back to what I was saying at the same time, freaking, when it comes to all of that... That is where that goes. Because then that happens, this person gets replaced at the fucking NSA named Moore. cyber command, so that if I was to go reach out to the people, which then goes back into fucking yada yada, which then goes back into another thing I wanted to speak of, which is the person who from Centralia looks like, or not looks like, excuse me, supposedly was my half brother, the one that was surrounded with the fucking radioactive bucketfuls of radioactive fucking diamonds from the mine up in fucking Centralia, right? And supposedly my half brother, right, who looks like basically fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, like no shit, like totally looks like fucking, so much so like Jeffrey Dahmer, which is such a turn on to fucking all the fucking girls that want to be killed and raped. It's amazing. It is amazing how many girls want to be fucking killed and raped. It is fucking raped and killed and eaten, and the little boys that want to be fucking killed, raped, and eaten. Fucking, you guys are the most interesting people I've ever met. You know, so I think there should be a facility for it. Like, literally, like, you go there, you get killed, raped, and eaten. You know what I'm saying? I think literally it should be a willing thing. If you really feel that, you know, you want to be killed, raped, and eaten, you know, I think that you should have the option to go get fucking killed, raped, and eaten, or eaten, raped, and killed, or, you know, whatever fucking combination that fucking leads to your ultimate goal, which is basically getting killed, you know, and possibly then eaten, or fucking eaten before killed. You know, the point is there's probably at least you'll have a place to go to have that happen. So then I'm saying to myself, like, so if this guy was my half brother, right, and he's surrounded by, and then that would explain the whole fucking radioactive diamond dust, like, you know, because then it doesn't, I already knew this. It's like I already know that fucking that's where they were getting the fucking crap from. The motherfucking bullshit. Wow, man, holy crap. But it also fucking, that guy that day that I went to go to that fucking bank, that's why he was outside the fucking driveway looking like he was fucking, and then he ended up going to the same fucking bank, so he had to be listening through the fucking phone somehow. How did he do that? Well, if he's got friends like Mora. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oof. But there was also somebody on the train that day when the one person got off the train and looked so much like him, and I already was thinking this in my head before he got off the train, but then when the other person got back on the train, now there was a person that egged on an interesting occurrence where it was like I was the bad guy no matter what the fuck I was doing, and we were only playing cards, and I was just like, I can't even concentrate, I'm so drunk. And I'm saying to my fucking self, it's like, I really can't concentrate on fucking cards right now. My head's throbbing. I want to go lay down. I've been up for fucking X amount of hours. The bottom line is that freaking, the person that seemed to like egg on a slight, very well handled, yet fucking still slight enough that I was like, really? Is that a cheap shot? Like, whatever, man. You know, looked a lot like that, which also has a lot of looks in the Bruce Jenner category, which is upsetting to me because, unfortunately, it's like I'm not trying to down some of the Jenner girls, you know, and then there's all this, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's a very fucked up, which for a while I've been trying to freaking also mention at the same time. There was that whole fucking thing that went down with the freaking, you know, the day when they were shooting an actual video of said video, and, you know, it's like me mentioning a certain person's name, which was Chris. That person was being cloaked to look like Chris. All right, and I don't believe that was Chris Jenner. I don't believe that was her, because there was another situation, and I'm sorry, I wasn't exactly aware of. Because I did say what I said. They said the face changed. They changed it right there to fucking mock me. That's also the same type of situation that went down when it came to a certain location with the car, which then also went down back to another interesting situation when I was young and basically I had to escape the, bulldog on the other side of a fence that grabbed my pants and ripped my fucking bottom leg of my fucking pants, trying to get away from my cousins, because my cousin was literally trying to watch. That's why, the spirits are like, why would you care about something like this? And it's like, because maybe but they don't change. They don't fucking change. They deserve every bit of fucking nothingness that they will eventually achieve in that path of life. And yeah, so that's that. And I don't know why because of the train situation. That's why probably I started mentioning what I was noticing here and there and there. And as far as the fucking man also in the jail cell, but not in my jail cell, with the penis pump, it was just really funny that we heard that penis pump going every night, and then nobody knew. That's the best part. Nobody knew what the fuck, because as that penis pump was going, and it was like, oh, and I just said in my head, I was like, oh, I don't know who the fuck you are either. I'm like, yeah, keep getting it ready. You know what happened to the last fucking big nigga that thought he was gonna fucking do something? I fucking shoved his balls back up into the fucking, and he ended up in the infirmary with fucking one ball left. Keep it up. Pump it again. And I swear to God, you never heard that fucking penis pump even one more time. But not one motherfucker in that entire fucking jail cell knew what the fuck had just taken place. And then I started standing next to him, and I was like, hey, what's up? He was like, hey, what's up? He was like, why are you standing next to me? And it's like, why are you standing so close? And I was like, because I like you. You're not like all the rest.